Right, we're alive. Good evening, welcome to Ryan's House, the All Arsenal show. And myself, Ange, some of you know me in the chat. Hopefully, we've got some people in the chat. I haven't got that far yet. Next, got Ryan. Thank you so much, mate. And I've got our Mark. We got our Richard. Right, we're good. We're all good. We've got our voice of reason, Richard. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Richard. Right, let's get to the comments. Have we still got anyone here? Have they all lost the will to live? Considering some of them ain't gooners on your side, that is too funny. So, anyway, I'm just going to prattle on here because I didn't watch the match. I refused to pay for it because, well, I didn't get into 1-6. So, it was a friendly against Nuremberg. So I put win, lose or draw. Well, we know what the end scenario is. Ryan, you were doing the watch along. Quick roundup of that game.
Just felt like when we went strong. I went in. Other God was meant to start, but
What happened to him?
Apparently, according to Arsenal's Twitter, he took a knock in the warm up. So precautionally, they took him out and put Fabio in, which was a disaster there. But anyway, it is what it is. But again, we were controlled. It felt like a pre-season game, but we showed our superiority and our strength. Obviously, Saka scoring the goal for us. Partey looking the business, even with all the rumours and all that, he's still looking the business in that midfield. Kiwa played left back, sort of inverted left back, and looked actually decent as well.
Yeah, cool.
We up till the mistake that we'll get onto in a bit from our third choice goalkeeper. We were control. We dictated the tempo. We were just and was showing a professional performance. Basically, it looked like we looked unreachable, basically. But then Cole made a mistake, and it's a friendly. It's not cost us any points. I'd rather it be done now than when it costs us points down the line. And he's not going. I already said in the watch, he won't be getting many minutes during the season. So either loan him out or that's not going to mistakes will keep happening. Kai Havertz played a bit in the second half, left hand side.
In any way?
No, played out. He got put out on the left hand side, and again got no action. He got next to no action, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
Hopefully that's not. I'm hoping that's not the position Arteta sees with him long term, because we've got Martinelli, we've got Smith Rowe, we've got Trossard. So I think it's more the fact that we haven't got a full squad back from internationals and all that. They just got put there for the sake of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a nothing game.
Even then, I think, Nketiah had a chance, Jesus had a chance, Balogun had a couple. So we had the chances to win that. It's just getting that match sharpness and getting those things sorted, in it. And Skelly and where he came on and looked okay, so did Waters.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like me Waters. Sorry.
So a few youngsters got in there and got a few minutes. It'll be interesting to see who out of the youngsters actually gets on the plane to America, because that will tell you a lot more.
Be a big thing,
Yeah.
I think.
Right, sorry guys, I'm just gonna, because I've got chatty people in the chat. I'm not used to this. We are blessed. We've got chatty people in the chat.
Brilliant.
Oh, bless. Hang on.
If I say anything, I'm in trouble. That's all I'm
saying.
And Tierney looked solid as well. I thought he looked like he's back to full fitness now.
Yeah. The only thing that annoyed me was Cedric. Why the hell did he go out on loan to come back and take corners for us still? He's a
maybe that's because he's the only one available.
Ryan, was he smiling? Was he smiling for the camera? And
probably. I was too busy ranting about it taking corners again.
You know, once we get into the once we get into the business end, he's not going to be about. But it is what it is. You've got to get minutes into him just in case something
get
serious
market
happens
as well.
And
Get the feeders out. Look. But yeah. It's like, look, he does exist. He will do a good job for you guys. Come and get him.
Yeah.
But I do, as you say, I think he'll be more of a departure in the latter stages of the window, probably on deadline day or something.
Yeah.
But we'll give him peace, love, and light, a fond farewell. Bye. Yeah, next. Yeah, one of those. Yeah. Anyway, can I just? Sorry, guys. I'm so excited about having people in my chat because we didn't have it with the other lot. Next, Nightman. Thank you for tuning in. You probably lost the will to live, but thank you so much. And we got Ravi. Oh, Mike Mills. You would listen to it in German. Can you speak German? Can you speak German?
Well, I listened to it. I listened to the last 10 minutes in German, and I definitely can't speak German. So yeah.
I will say to Mike, be careful what you say next, and that in response to that, because this chat, they're unforgiving, and Ange will back you up on that.
Good evening, Nightman. You're a legend. You are next. Emerson's in the house because had few technical problems with a certain network. Yeah, one of those. So, yeah, and that's a real pain. I'll pay for those for another network, my broadband, and touch wood, it ain't let me down yet. But, when these things go wrong, it is an absolute nightmare. Angie's in control of the chat. No, I'm really not, mate. I'm having a panic attack. Yeah, but thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you. Sorry, Ryan, enlighten me, because obviously I've done quite a few of your chats, and I'm fully fledged person now on your chat and your moderator.
One of us now.
Nightman, are you a gooner or is he not a gooner?
Oh yeah, he's a gooner.
Right,
yes.
okay,
cool. They got a few of them. I recognise that. Obviously, the Arsenal Misfits. Stevie's a gooner. Obviously, Emerson, Nemeth is a gooner. Steve F's a gooner. Ravi, I believe, is a gooner. But the ones, Mr. Bungle, you might see every now and then, he's a gooner.
Yes.
Stefan is an Ipswich fan.
I know. I love this. Stefan, I love you, mate. I love your poetry. He's my geezer. And also, Mr. Bungle, where his persuasion?
He's a gooner. He's one of us.
Okay, right. Okay, fair enough.
Well, we have got an Ipswich connection going back.
So funny.
Yeah, you got to remind us.
Steve F? Who's Steve F? Sorry, who's Steve F?
Steve F. He's a gooner. That's
right.
what I'm saying.
Top. Yeah, paper in the nose, but I didn't next.
Obviously, Tom, as you know, is a Leeds fan, the member of the channel.
Oh, is he back now? Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the last stream, but he's a Leeds fan. Hence, every now and then you'll see Eddie on the chat. That's him using the Eddie emoji.
Right. Okay. But isn't it wonderful that we got that chap back now who used to be with Norwich? Daniel Falk. Sorry,
Daniel
I'm not swearing.
Falker.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, I liked him.
Yeah,
sweet.
I like him. Yeah,
he chats a lot. Don't know what he's talking about, but he chats a lot. Ignore Mr. Tom. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you who I did watch. Don't Waste a Trip. Is it Gary?
Gary,
yeah.
Yep. Gary.
Yeah, I like Gary. I did watch his chat on the next morning. I think he come on quite late. But, no, I really like Gary. Mr. Tom was on there as well, actually. Being very Mr. Tom.
Just being Tom, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, okay, so I'm going to wrap that up that we drew. And everybody's not overly impressed. I think that'd be fair to say with that game.
But it's not the end of the thing. It's not the end of the world.
No,
it's early doors.
Friendly.
Early doors.
If you paid for it, it's the end of the world. But okay.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I quickly want to rattle off because if anybody's interested, WSL, Arsenal. Right. So new contracts: Frida, Steph, Caitlin, Jen. Blah, blah, blah. Have you got any more, by the way? Are we expecting any more for our girls to re-sign?
Again, that's my opinion. I think we might hear something about Viv once she's back.
Yeah,
on the pitch itself. Obviously, that's more near the time. But in terms of just to extend, because obviously just to extend longer, obviously because we didn't get the time last year anyway. And we're showing progress. This is the thing. Even without we showed the progress with all the injuries and all that. I keep going on about it back in the last season. So you'll see that obviously as well. Adding to the questions, obviously season relationship with Beth. They're happy. There's a feel good factor in the club as well. So there is no reason. I mean, I said back in the last season, if we hadn't had the injuries to Beth, Viv, obviously Leah later on in the end, and Laura as well, respectively, we could have done business in that Champions League and got to that final possibly and caused a bit of anarchy for Barcelona, and maybe even caused an anarchy for Chelsea in their full title. But I think we are stronger now. Even though we've lost Raffaelli, we've lost Raffaelli. We haven't got Leah until December, latest early January, give or take, depending on the recovery, respectively, and the same with Laura. But we're unlike last year, the club are acting fast and they're getting the business done early. And we've got an attack. That's all I'm saying. We have got an attack.
Big time. So that will lead me on to
we got
now.
some decent options there now, haven't we?
No, just decent ones,
I mean, sorry, I'm just going to bang on here. We got rid of Fran Stenson. Didn't even know she was in it. Manor. I like Manor, but she never cut it. Anna Patton. Well, yeah, she was awesome.
As of yesterday, Anna Patton's been officially left to go to Aston Villa now to get some more minutes. We weren't going to get the minutes at Arsenal. We're under Jonas. But that's more detriment to the recruitment he's done since he's walked through the door. That someone like Anna Patton's have to move on now.
They're not good enough. End all. The incoming, bear with the pronunciations. Amanda Ulstead, sorry. She signed on the 27th, centre back, but I listened to a certain very good person who, I'll call his name out, Tim Chappie, Arseblog co-host, and she's a good centre back, but we ain't got the replacement for Raffaelli. They're hard to find, so because that was a beautiful partnership, wasn't it, with Leah when they took play? That was just flowy.
They just clicked straight from the off.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, so that's sad. And also, because I'm not a fan with these players from overseas, Chloe Lacasse, the forward who's Canadian but Icelandic origin.
Benfica,
Is she? How do you rate her? Sorry, I really don't know. How do you rate her?
I'll be honest. I don't watch the women's Portuguese league religiously, but from what I've seen in clips here and there, looks all right. Be a good squad player. We now know she's definitely be a squad player. We've got obviously Stina and a certain other person we're going to get onto later who will be ahead of us. So it's more for rotation in the lesser games, if you will.
Well, back to this said chat.
Squad depth, isn't it? That's what killed us last season. So they've gone and added that depth across it.
Definitely.
Well, it's more the merrier next because we got a lot of matches. And, the big signing, and fair play to Arsenal women, they so got it right. And I just happened to be at home that day, trolled it for all it's worth. And I'm not on TikTok, but they announced it on TikTok. Next minute was Twitter. Yeah, Russo. I think they did that very well. And myself and Mark, we were a little bit apprehensive because of the noise we heard regarding Stina, which I'm going to say is not true next. But after seeing her interviews, I've got to say, what a down-to-earth young lady. I think she's a brilliant fit. She keeps it humble. God forbid, listen, if she can get a goal or two in the World Cup, good luck to her. But I want her to come back uninjured. I think she'll be fabulous for us. Yeah.
I thought the PR they did for that was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I think they really worked on that. It was probably obviously a quite last minute putting everything together, but it looked like the questions were worked and it just looked really good.
Yeah,
which was nice.
Yeah.
And I hold my hands up. I was completely wrong. I think I was completely wrong about her. And
sorry, Mark. Me and you hold our hands up. Yeah, we had our reservations, but and also she likes to win a lot. Yeah, next.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's that bit out of the way. We've got some more in chat. Right. Emerson's in the house. Okay, sorry if I'm pronouncing her name right. Best striker in the Portuguese league and will be an asset for us. Yeah, said chap was saying should be more like a Trossard player, so I don't think that's a bad thing. Who's Mark Taylor?
No.
Sorry, Ryan. Who's Mark Taylor?
Must be I think one of the new faces coming recently.
Okay. Hello, Mark. Thank you. Sorry, not one that I've seen in your chat. Kim RFC.
Kim's a Rangers fan. She's up in Glasgow. She's a Rangers fan, but also
Arsenal. I love Rangers. Right.
She's Rangers obviously in Glasgow. She's even in Glasgow, but her second team is Arsenal.
Okay, that's absolutely fine because I've got a bit of that Scottish thing going on. Yeah, Rangers is good. And you may be confused by my name, but I'm not that Aussie geezer who's now the manager for Spurs. I'm Anne.
Who?
Thank you. Oh gosh. Okay, Mr. Tom 28. Far from up. No, okay, yeah, I like the geezer, but I don't know where we're going with that one. Thank you.
Daniel Farke.
All right, whatever. Is what. Anyway, Richard. Sorry, we're all prattling on. Richard, what would you like to say about? We've moved on.
Our business pre-season, women's and men's, have been good, and we've done the necessary business. We signed up the players we've needed to re-sign to contracts, and for all Edu's and Garlick's criticisms, I think they've done pretty well so far. It's not perfect, but you can't judge a window until it's closed, and you see what we're left with. But they've acted fast. They've gone out, got the targets, both men and women's, and re-signed players to contracts. So you can only say well done for that, and let's see where it's over to the respective managers now, isn't it? It's down to Jonas and Arteta to prove it on the pitch.
Very much so.
Definitely.
Very much so. And another bit of news I just want to throw in here just for. Excuse me. Right, Arsenal Academy, because the girls are a bit of a mystery. First professional contracts, which was some time ago now. Freya Godfrey, who featured in, was it one of the last games at Arsenal?
Yeah, one of the very last matches.
Yeah. And Naomi Williams, who I believe is a goalkeeper, and also Michelle, but she can't actually. She's done a pledge because she's her birthday's not till February, so she'll sign then. So that's all brilliant. Nice to see stuff going on with the girls because we hear all about the young men, of course, but which is Emerson's thing. But the final thing I'm going to bang on about is just the Lionesses, because Ryan, as I understand it, you're going to be doing watch-alongs for England.
Yeah, basically what I did last year was for the Euros. Covered every England women's game. Obviously, it's easier because obviously it's in the UK. This a bit more challenging over in Australia and New Zealand. So the time frame will be silly. Sometimes be 7 o'clock in the morning for us. But I will be covering it, and obviously I've got a more vivid interest now. Obviously not just Lotta, but obviously now I've got Russo to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, get that.
Sorry,
what's this song going on about? Leeds.
Some team in Yorkshire, some small team in Yorkshire, I think.
That's so funny. Actually, my uncle was from Leeds. Do you know I had a Leeds scarf? I wish I kept it.
I've always got a lot of dogs.
Oh God, I wish I kept that. And he actually come down to stay because I'm a Barnet girl originally, and he come down to stay with us. And if I've got this right, he might have, because my dad loved football, but he was from Devon, so he didn't really support anyone. I've told Richard's story, but he I don't know who Leeds were playing against, and it was at Wembley, but he come down to stay with us, and he actually got me the iconic scarf. I wish I kept it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit of useless information. So I've got a bit of affinity to Leeds. Okay, next. The women's team will win anything. I hope they do. Because I think I'd say all of us, we all hate Emma Hayes. We hate her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. For the people that are regulars of this podcast and in channel in general, they know my thoughts on Emma Hayes, and yeah, I don't hold back. For someone that was to be the protege to Vic Akers back in the day, and was part of this coaching setup back in the day of when we won the quadruple, doesn't act like it, and has no class. So they say when she loses. So.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh, sorry, Ryan. Would you? Oh, sorry, I've got my window. That's so funny. Sorry. Ryan, was you at the Continental Tires Cup game?
I wasn't. I did a watch on, but Lottie, who obviously we'd been talking about trying to get on as well, but she was there. She was there. A few others, but yeah, the plan was to go there, but with me and Liam, but couldn't. We mistimed ours.
Yeah, I'd already planned to watch it on telly. Richard, jog my memory. No, it wasn't you. It was Emerson and Ricky, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a little bit of a trek from Portsmouth up to.
Well, of course, yeah.
So just get. So it's why I only do the women's at the Emirates, because I've got to get into London. Then I've got to getting into sort of Bournemouth and all that sort of place. It is a massive trek for me, and with my condition, I'll be asleep by the time I get to. It's hard enough getting to the Emirates and staying awake for a match.
That's fair enough. Sorry, Mr. Tom's just said here, I watch the Women's Portuguese League regularly. There's a potential in the player you named. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's cool. And sorry, I'm just going. Sorry, because I'm all over the shop here. I'll get better, trust me. Right, thank you, Mark. How good did Ethan?
Very hard to tell in that 15 minute. He didn't have that long, did he? I mean, he had some nice touches, and but he still looks like there's work to be done. But you'd expect that he's only young, But
he's still a kid. He's 16 now.
I was going to say she's turned 16, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see the talent.
He's just finished his GCSEs. Give him a chance. He's just done his GCSEs.
Exactly. Okay. Oh, Michael Mills is saying we have 15 players in the World Cup. Well, yeah, I haven't really thought about that.
Katie McKay being one of them. That's a really interesting one.
Well, this one, Ravi, is interesting. Well, Ravi, I'm going to answer that straight away. Question: will Russo be benched? No, because they've got on the free, but she's getting big wages for a woman player. No, she will not be benched.
She's got to go straight in.
Yeah, she'll be straight in, and Stina will be the one coming from the bench.
Who will she put on the bench? Yeah,
I think it'll be Stina because of the formation. Jonas likes to play one striker and all, and she's a striker, and one dimensional. With all due respect to Stina it will be rotate between the two of them, but majority of the time we will see a lot more Russo than Stina.
Yeah, of course.
As a starter.
I understand that. But I still love Miss Stina. She's a good girl. Stefan! Hey. Thank you for joining in, mate. And I know you probably lost the will to live now because you're an Ipswich supporter and while we all banging on about Arsenal, but bless your heart. He's a good boy. Bless. Mr. Tom, I have a question for the panel. What do you make of Arsenal being named second only to Man City by Deloitte in terms of potential squad value? Okay, sorry, I can't answer that. Go on, guys.
Well, to be honest, it's somebody's opinion of what a player's worth, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
So I don't hold much in squad value, other than the fact that it's nice to have players that will have a value later when we want to improve again.
No, exactly. It's nice to have the conversation and have players that even not at a world class level yet, but haven't hit their peak yet, but have the potential to be world class, and their value already is of a world class level. And just again, but people's opinions on this is a bit. Again, it's a bit hard to talk on because obviously one's won a treble and one's just up and coming, getting back to what we used to be. I think once we hit, if we not if it's when we get over that line in terms of winning a major trophy, be it Champions League or FA Cup, whatever, and regularly win trophies, then come back. Then we can come back and have that discussion because then it's more an equal balance thing because then both teams will be competitively winning things toe to toe. Until then, you're comparing a potentially team that can do that in Arsenal to a team that's just done treble. So it's a bit,
Big concern that I have is I don't know if everybody else shares it, is where are the values going to end? That's the thing.
Well, with the Saudis coming along now, their Saudi league, it could be ridiculous money. So
money next.
Move on.
I think we shot we can't shut the barn door on that. That should have been dealt with years and years ago, but no one either cared or had the foresight to consider the possibility. But you're talking hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. But as I said, I think it's too late to do anything about it now.
Although it's interesting to note that obviously with the delay that we've had with Rice, it's interesting to note that they're starting to delve into a bit more about the actual nuances of how they do the payment structures, with being able to spread them over 5 years, and
that's usually the size of a contract, and they're going through every word, every comma, and every dot.
Fine detail,
because a comma in the wrong place changes the context of the whole contract, and at the end of the day, it is £100+ million deal. You're not wanting to be the person who fucked that up, are you?
No, exactly.
Sorry, I'm just going to bring these up. Right, sorry, across the pond, Mr. Ross, across Sports Talk. So, thank you for tuning in.
They're saying that the young lads look good, Nawi and the MLS and Balogun, but okay, but not the finish. Yeah, obviously, as I said earlier, we touched it at the start of this podcast. Literally, obviously, everything else off the ball. He was testing the defence. He was getting involved, doing what you would expect of a striker in any situation. It's just the end product. And then again, you've got to remember people do need to remember, even though he's been on loan and playing regularly for the last 12 months in Ligue 1, is his first game back in Arsenal clothes in what 13, 14 months, maybe longer than that, since he last actually put the Arsenal shirt on in the competitive game.
And to be honest, this is their second game, and that's there's probably about 70 minutes in total he's had. So the fitness levels aren't going to be there. So it's not you're expecting by the Barcelona match that the team will be up to full fitness and looking closer to what.
I think we'll see a lot more. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of Flo during the US tour for marketing reasons, along with obviously professional reasons, obviously, because now he's a fully fledged international in the USA. So marketing wise, it makes sense.
Yeah,
and I also think what Eddie does. He'll want to see what Balogun does.
Yeah,
and can do. Over with better players around him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there is a not overly convinced, but next, sorry.
No, he'll make that decision by the time we get to by the time we come back home. And
listen, if they get the monies for him, sell him off.
He'll have a clear plan on whether we want to keep him or get rid of him by that time.
Yeah, no, you're the voice of reason, Richard. Get that.
I will say that just to end this off on the flow side of things, so we move on. I don't know who runs, if it's him, he himself runs his own social media, or he's got a team doing it. But if it's him, it's an attitude situation which needs to be addressed by Arteta. If it can't be addressed, and we've seen what Arteta does with players like that.
Yes, he gets rid.
If it's a team that he's got running it, he needs to sack that team off because they're not helping him whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, that recent post a few days ago of him in the Captain America costume, basically, and his market value and all that. But it's sort of like, come get me.
Yeah.
So if that's him, it needs to be addressed. If it's not him and it's a team, a social media team running it, they need to be sacked off and quick.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Because that's not going to help him either way, even if he stays at Arsenal or moves on.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Yeah, do you know what? Across the pond, I'm going to agree with that comment completely. Yeah. Sorry, be a bit more professional. Have good people behind you. Yeah, come on, you're a young man. You got talent. Yeah, sorry, end of.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We've had enough prima donnas at the Arsenal.
Yeah.
My God, I love Reece. He's a beautiful young man. He's been dogged with injuries, but he's so humble. He's always kept himself a good young man. End of. Next.
Well, I've said this throughout back into last season, going into because obviously the discussions were that he was going to get the contract and all that, even for official and all that. And I said, you know what? How he's behaved when he was fit, when he weren't getting the minutes, how he's behaved on the pitch and off the pitch, and he hasn't gone to the media or gone off on social media and done Ainsley and gone, oh, where's my minutes? He's just got on with it. He's accepted the role of what he is in the squad.
Yeah.
And he stepped up when he was called upon against Forest when Saka went off in the home game. He stepped up, scored a couple of goals, had a little injury, came back in a clutch moment against Bournemouth at home when we were 2-0 down. It was 2 at the time. Last attack of the game on his weak foot half volley, scores that goal. Again, from one of our own, it brings a bit more specialness to the occasion. But it's again, he wasn't like, I've got to start for the next game now. It's just like, okay, fantastic. Yeah, the hype of it. We move on now. But he never kicked, even back into the season, never went to the media and kicked off a fuss about minutes. He's just like, no, I want to get the future sorted first. And now he's done that. And then in interviews, even in the interview on Arsenal.com on the Arsenal website or on YouTube, if you're not a member, in his interview, it's just about now. He's got goals. He won't say publicly what the goals are, but he's got goals to himself for the season ahead. And if he reaches them, he'll reassess things and move on. But he's not going to overhype it for the public to then put pressure on him. He's just going to keep it within himself and within the community of the team and Mikel himself. And that's all you can ask for. Just keep everything in house, calm, cool, collective, and kick on.
Oh, sorry. Can I just bring this up? Because, all right, we all...
Yeah, you can bring this up. That's fine. Yeah,
and I've been the one who had a laugh about Dele Alli, but this is a little bit, not to me myself, but somebody I know about abuse. Sorry, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but Dele Alli... Sorry, let me read it on this side, please. Oh, come on. Sorry. Why is that not responding? Oh, no. Do it. Sorry, my laptop's pairing up. Sorry. Oh, hang on. I'll read it on this side. Dele Alli recently spent 6 weeks in rehab because of sleeping pill addiction. Obviously not something he needed. Well, all right. Tottenham's Tottenham. And yeah, it's a bit of a curse. But more importantly, I will bring it out there, and I don't want to go any further, but he's been very brave to admit about abuse when he was young, probably in a bit of a troubled home life. And to be fair, regardless of the whole Tottenham thing, he was an England Everton darling at one time.
He was.
It's become a joke now, the butt of the joke. I mean, I'm going to be honest, every time I used to see my beloved Saka give him a little shove or something, I think, go on, mate, you know what I mean? But actually, to be fair, he's gone through something really horrible, and I think that's very brave of him to open up. And good on him. And hopefully he can, work through this. So, we know you as Spurs. Well, and actually, I like it.
Is that on an up and coming episode, or is it been aired yet, or is it up and coming?
I've seen it on YouTube, so I don't know if it's been aired. It looks just like a bit of a trailer to get you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like little snippets to get you sort of interested, and then you go over to watch the full thing. And
because I haven't watched the whole. I have to say I haven't watched the whole series, but the ones I've watched are actually very good.
Gary Neville was interviewing him, and I mean, it's got any interview with a player is good, just especially to see what a person is going through, because you never know what a person is going through in any given moment of a day. So
and to go through that,
can we just shout out a personal friend of ours, John Gooner. Thank you for coming, mate. Thank you so much. What a stream! Yeah, it is. Woo, it's good.
And Gary's on from DWT.
Yeah, I love it, Gary. Yeah, Gary's very good. Yeah, I love it, Gary. Sorry, as much as I hate the Spuds, do you know what? I don't hate them because they're not good enough. They're laughable, and I've got too many mates of Spurs. Next, I hate Chelsea, and I'll come back. That's another day. Really don't like, but I will still take their good players. So no hate for Kai. Is what it is. He's been released and living a new good life, hopefully. But yeah, sounds like Everton. Do you know what I just think, what's his face? Sean Dyche. I think he's really good for Everton. I think he will be. I like Sean Dyche. He's old school, old miserable white geese. He's good. I think it'll be really good for those Everton players. I truly do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's entertaining as well. Sorry.
Yeah, especially after the match, he's got the croaky voice after shouting for the last hour. No, but going back to Delhi again, the Tottenham rivalry aside for a second, to put himself out there after again being, as you say, the butt of the joke for the last since that documentary, and then Tottenham did their all or nothing thing, and obviously Mourinho called him out for being lazy, and once that ended, sort of his career sort of petered out the way it has done. But now for him to come back from Turkey, go do what he's had to be done, and so in terms of the rehab side of things, so soon, like weeks after coming out of rehab, to sit down with anyone and having it be like, this is a situation recently, along with everything else I've had in my life, the abuse from a child, all the way up to everything he's been through. But again, you've got to say massive props to him, fair play to him, and hopefully he continues to get the help that he needs in terms of not just mentally, but obviously 27, 28. I'll double check that now. But yeah, either way.
Yeah, late 20s. So he's still got a bit of time left to be a player.
It's just obviously the last couple of years have sort of petered along the things in the documentaries. It's because of that, and coinciding of that, it sort of petered into that sort of butt of a joke. See, Mourinho was right about went off to Turkey. And again, he got a lot of abuse in Turkey, by the way. 27. He got a lot of abuse going to Turkey, by the way, when he came, and it obviously didn't work out, came back. But now we know why it didn't work, because he wasn't mental health wise, he wasn't with it. He was saying, he says in the interview that at 24 years of age, he wanted to retire. So, again, as I say, hopefully he gets the help he needs, not just from the club and Sean Dyche, but obviously off the pitch and away from the club as well, with the right people around him.
Well, I don't know, because I only follow Arsenal, men and women, but hopefully he's got a good woman by his side, whatever person he's got with him, and whatever people he's got around him, they can guide him in the right direction, because that's all we all need, isn't it? So Sorry, John Gurner. Footballers, men and women, are young people finding their way in life. Most working class kids need the love. Well, that's very true as well, actually. It's a bit interesting because I'm going to call out a couple of players here because I've been residing in a very nice part of Hertfordshire, looking after my elderly mummy, and around the corner in a very nice area, you've got several Arsenal players. And as my Spursy brother-in-law keeps reminding me, I've got Bukayo Saka around the corner if I drive there next. And also, my darling nephew used to be at school with ESR.
Well, my brother actually knows ESR in terms of they met a few years, but after it was just after the summer of the under 17s World Cup, and not ESR, the under 17s were doing some promo stuff with Adidas, and my brother happened to be there because he was doing Pro Direct stuff, and yes, they happened to meet up and got to been chatting. They chat on and off ever since, and yeah, it seems a good lad and all that. And when taking that aside, I do like Smith Rowe. He's a good talent, and hopefully, this, from what we've seen, again, massive congratulations to him, by the way, last week along with the under 21s.
Oh, do you know what? I just felt so happy. I don't know. It all goes back to Jack Wilshere. I've only been a Gooner half my life, but I get this whole HLN thing, and I love my Jack, end of. And to say, well, it's like, that's why I'm so made up. All right, Saka had to sign. Do you know what I mean? Next, he had to sign. Well, I had hissy fit, and I asked my brother to give me his address next. No, seriously, but. You got Reese, you got ESR. Yeah, I just love it. But I love our foreign players because technically I'm the foreigner who's come into the Arsenal. I just love our homegrown players. I just love it. I know they can't all, but just for the few. And also, I think all of these three that I mentioned, all right, they're all on good wages, they're all living a life, but they all seem to keep it very humble.
Rounded. Yeah.
Because they've come from them roots in the first place, they know what it means they've had to work to get to that point, and they realise it hasn't the work rate, and that's made them humble in the first place. But having good people, the family around them, not just obviously the parents, but obviously brothers, sisters,
whoever's
whatever the circle is, but having them around them, keeping them grounded, and not making sure they don't get above their stations, basically, and realise where you come from. And we see we saw it in our documentary of Smith Rowe, and obviously and Saka as well. And oh God, moving on.
Stefan, what are you talking about, mate? I know Keith Richards' cousin, and if that means anything, I love it.
No, but. See, in the documentary we did, the Amazon thing, it was you see how grounded and humble, genuinely Saka is in terms of.
Oh, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful boy.
In terms of obviously Christmas time, he literally goes out of his way, out of his own pocket, dips his hand in his own pocket, buys presents for the entire staff behind the scenes. Players, Gabriel comes up. You think for me, like, are you staff? I play. I'm having a bit of a laugh and all, but he's literally he's making the effort of everyone behind the scenes, and but it's out of his own pocket. It's not from a sponsorship or nothing like that. And then obviously later on in the season, he meets up with the kids that sent him a letter after the Euros, had a kick about in the pitch, had an ice cream with him, and that side of it again, that side of we missed for years at Arsenal in terms of that connection with the fans. And
of course you do, Stefan.
He's coming back again, and then obviously Smith Rowe, and he pops up throughout the again you see it of him, and he came from where he comes from, the rough end of Croydon and what have you, and kicking the ball back in the cages and this, that, and the, just that rawness, that knowing that when I say that we've been the players, they had to go through the rough times in terms of kicking the ball on the concrete pitch cages to be noticed and then get to that point.
Right, it might not be quite Brazil, but it is what it is. And also, sorry, can I just interrupt here? He was very good on the Arsenal.com website that he actually admitted that him and his mummy, don't know about his dad, but they really liked the free food they were getting because it was making ESR a better player.
Yeah.
And I thought, his mum did, no, she didn't have to cook. Result.
Yeah.
So
But it's just that groundness, that family as well. I mean, I know Rams was like one of the academy. He came in from elsewhere, but when you see him coming up, the photos of his dad, his mum, his sister, his fiance, his now wife, obviously mother of his child, soon to be, and then obviously his granddad in the urn sort of they had and all that, and that connection as well, and then seeing it play out in the documentary, and then seeing his dad in random photos throughout the season, even this season just gone, at away games in the crowd, and everyone knows who he is, but he doesn't care. He's there for his son. He's the proudness of his son playing for the Arsenal. It's just like it's like again going back to the good old days, and and again it's brilliant to see, and that connection, that feel good thing we had at the club years ago, sort of peaked away for a bit. It's coming back.
Well, yeah, it did big time.
But obviously, it feels better when it comes from an academy side of things. We went through Tony Adams, years later, Ashley Cole, in terms of academy outlets, and now suddenly we've got Per Mertesacker comes along, goes up to the manage the academy, and suddenly we've got a constant rollout of decent, top quality academy graduates, basically.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it goes back to having the right people on the coaching staff as well that know the Arsenal values as well. You know,
and Edu being one of them. No, Edu's a football director, but he was part of that generation in the early years of the 2000s. He knows the Arsenal. He knows what it means to play for the Arsenal, the good Arsenal, anyway.
Well, sorry, can I just RFC
Up the Hive?
Up the Hive. What Hive? Are you talking about Barnet?
There's a few more comments down. So you meant to say Hibs.
Oh, okay, because I'm Barnet girl, so that's the only one I know. Listen, Barnet are a bit sharp, but they're trying to live the dream. Do you know, I've got a very good friend who supports Barnet. He lives in Anglesey. That's a bit weird, but he's a true Barnet. That's the only club he follows is Barnet, and they're like really shy. And he got very upset with me when I got really super excited about the Welsh one. Who was it? Ryan, what's his face, and the American people. Wrexham.
Ryan Reynolds and his mate,
Yeah. No, I got quite excited. And also that lovely goalkeeper. I really like that goalkeeper.
Ben Foster.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, I don't know. He's mad. I love him. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've just employed a new attack coach, haven't we? So that was, and we've got with two departures within the staff as well coming up. So it'd be interesting to see if they're replaced and who they're replaced with as well. The Driscoll one is obviously personal reasons. Reading from what was said, he wanted to be closer to family, so that immediately says it's family orientated. So
yeah, and also the fact that he said he's going to stick around until they pick out his successor and ease them into the transition before he goes away full time to take on his new role and all that. It's fair play, and not many people do that. So, and not many clubs would allow that as well because he's going to a rival. But no, fair play. I mean, in terms of Steve Round, I said in the group, one of the group chats I'm in. For me, it's not a big loss in terms of. I'm going by what I see from day to day in terms of what they put out publicly. Yeah, he was brought in as part of Arteta's coaching staff because of the. Experience he has, obviously David Moyes' ex assistant, Everton, United times and all that, knows the league in terms and had that bit of experience with the coaching staff at the time.
I think it was also that relationship he had with Arteta, wasn't it? Yeah,
it seemed to be more of a Arteta would more lean towards Earpods Albert basically in terms of out of the two. He'd rather go to him for certain things and this, that, and the other. So, and Steve, very quiet, very timid. Even in you don't see much of him in the documentary either, Steve. In general, they focus on everyone when they coach the setup, apart from him. So again, I'm not, in terms of Steve Vance, I'm not overly fussed that he's going or he's gone.
It's all about Albert AirPods and next.
Yeah, it's all about
Instagram.
If it had been the AirPods Albert, I'd be a bit more bereaved in terms of what the hell. Because I go by what I see. It seems like Luke likes to go through earpods more than Vance. But especially when we get the rumours are that we're looking to bring in possibly Santi Cazorla into the coaching setup alongside Arteta. But there's a possibility. Because obviously he's just retired. He's always said he wants to come back to the Arsenal, obviously, because he never got to set that farewell to come as well.
Yeah.
But I think there's better out there than Steve Round, to be honest. And also, people need to remember Sir Alex Ferguson made a habit from the get-go. Every few years, he'd refresh things in his coaching setup, be it an assistant or whoever, just to keep a new voice, a new pair of eyes, keep going, keep things.
Even Pep does it.
The photographer.
Yeah. give Steve McFarlane stewardship. He come photographer / assistant.
Yeah.
I'll give him Gunnosaurus's suit. He could multitask.
Go. Ruined some poor kid's life. In fact, in family enclosure, always doing it, but still.
Yeah.
Oh God! There's me bagging on them on radio. They bought next. Sorry. Yeah, I need to. I do follow them on Twitter actually, but yeah, sorry. Well, I'm not in Scotland. I can't go to their matches. I can only say I'm a Protestant person from the Scottish sort of background next. Yep, and none of that shite on here next. Oh, hang on, what's that? Oh. Barnet Boys Forever. Okay.
Behaviour.
We only kind of owned it when we had Bazza Fry there for a bit of a time, but it is what it is, isn't it? And whatever bloody league we're in next. Too funny.
Newcastle.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about Newcastle. Go away. Don't want to talk about Newcastle. Although, do you know what? Fair play to the manager, and he should be the England geezer next. He really should. He's done all right with them, hasn't he?
Yeah, considering again, he wasn't the first choice, was he? He wasn't. Sorry, he wasn't the first choice to take over from Steve Bruce. With the financial power they have nowadays, for his first full season, he's got them top 4. So no pressure now. No pressure.
Yeah, and you can say that wasn't a particularly decent squad he had there, was it? Yeah. I mean, he got a few.
Hello, Quinn. Thank you.
But they'd underperformed under Bruce and that, and he got them ticking. So you got to give him his the credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Tottenham players.
And Hawkwind, it was 1-1, sadly. Carl Fine made one little mistake, and but it's friendly, so no in the world.
It was more.
Yeah.
That's the one that's more about getting minutes into the leagues. It's the ones after that he'll be looking at results more. And getting that shape and getting that rhythm and continuity back.
Oh, Colin! Sorry, Colin. Hey up, you all right, mate? Look, Richard's on the show. Colin, hello. Richard's on the show.
Hey, Cole, how are you? Well, I thought Fabio was again. That isn't a first squad team, was it? It was a mixed match, and he did show some decent bits, but again, it's not a. Is it enough to? It
is what it is
to make an impression, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to make an impression to push his way into a team. Otherwise, he's going to struggle to get minutes this season.
Yeah, again, considering he was thrown in at the last minute at the start, he wasn't initially meant to start, was he?
No.
Says he wasn't fully ready. Yeah, but I have my thoughts on Fabio in terms of long term. Oh, Anne's gone. Took herself out.
Yeah, and Balogun had a nice cameo. He'll come on for that, and he'll be kicking himself. He didn't bag too. So
yeah,
he'll absolutely think he should have scored both of them. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, and again, a more match fit flow probably finishes in chances, obviously. But again, people need to remember. Because I'm going to, I'll go on Twitter later after this, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's the end of the world. It's all the league on thing, this, that, and the other. It's just a one-off flop." It's like it's his first game for Arsenal in over a year and a half, possibly maybe longer. I don't know exactly when he last played for us, actually, in Arsenal colours, senior-wise. Just relax, breathe, let him settle back into Arteta's game plan, Arteta's tactics, and the setup. And I think we'll see, as I said before, we'll see a lot more of him in the US tour. And I think he'll bag a few goal boys over there. Because from what I saw today, in terms of everything but scoring, he's got the bit between his teeth. He wants to prove a point to Mikel. In terms of, if you want me to say, I want to be at least starting ahead of that forward called Eddie. Because Eddie doesn't. Again, as I say, Eddie had a chance, but apart from that, when it fell to him on the plate, he didn't do anything off the ball to stretch the defence or cause a bit of trouble, ask questions of the defence itself in either half. To the point, as I say, second half I didn't even know he was on the pitch until he went off. I genuinely thought he went off at half time.
He'd been moved out to the left hand side, and
but he just he's out. But you know what I'm saying? He's
he
just
was anonymous. Yeah.
It's just like it is what it is. But at the same time, if I'm Flo, I'm just like, well, I'm doing my bit here. Apart from ball in net now. Give me a chance to get to the MLS now. The MLS All Stars on next Thursday. And I think from a marketing point of view, from a marketing point of view, because he's now a US international, I can see Flo starting because of that. The US star now against these back home, playing against the MLS basically, and see what happens, sort of thing.
Yeah. I think they'll definitely probably give him the first half.
Move Cedric on, but you can't move him off on if he's not fit, and he's not. You're not putting him in the shop window if you're not giving him some minutes. I don't think you'll see him much on the US tour because
it'll be a bit
you should have Timber. You should have Timber in place. Then Tommy Asa will be back fully fit, and he's just not quite match ready yet. So.
Yeah, we're going to, as you say, you mentioned Timber. We'll go Rice as well. It looks like they're going to rush them both. It looks like they're going to rush both announcements out ASAP.
When? Ryan, when?
Well, they fly out. They fly out. The team flies out on Sunday to the US, so it's going to be before Sunday. Okay. They have to now. They force themselves into a hole now.
It's been announced tonight that
they come back tomorrow and they fly Sunday, don't they? So it's sort of a very quick turnaround.
So it was announced this afternoon.
Yeah. Okay.
It was announced this afternoon that they have promised West Ham that everything will be signed tomorrow. Rice is currently in Portugal.
I know
he's at in Vale de Lobo on the Algarve, and he will either flying.
He's done the biggest part of his medical anyway, so so there's
he'll either be flying directly from Faro out to America, or he may come back to London, depending on how they're going to do all the kit and the photographs and the interview and all of that jazz. But should all be kicking off tomorrow, hopefully.
Sorry, Nightman. Yeah, Underhill. Yeah, next. Yeah. I never went actually. I should have gone. I lived there. Yeah,
it's a nice place there. Actually, I've where Rice is. I've been there. The actual.
Oh, sorry, who's talking about Underhill? No, it's not that nice. Sorry.
So yeah.
Oh, Portugal. No, I've never been to Portugal. I've been to Spain.
Yeah, no, I've been to the actual where Rice is at the moment, and it's where a lot of the British athletes go and stuff.
I'd probably take a bacon butty, to be honest, with that soda pop, Colin. But
yeah,
you keep it real, Richard. Love it.
So yeah, I just love how all the groups are having meltdowns because we haven't announced him, and it's like, oh my god.
Oh, listen.
All I did just got to what 2 o'clock yesterday. I put a tweet out saying, you know what, when they announced it, the gist of it was that when they announced it, I'm not fussed anymore. Just announce it already, but I'm not losing my mind over it.
But do you know what? I will call this out. I'm more excited about Timber because I really don't know much about him, but
it's the unknown, isn't it? Yeah, it's the unknown of because you don't watch it regularly.
I loved Dutch players and all. I was a sucker for them. So I'm really excited about him.
We sort of have a good history of Dutch players. Just saying.
Well, that as well, yeah, big time. Yeah. Rice is Rice, baby, John Goonan. Yeah, I'm sure he will join us next. I hope so. Next.
That Leicester was it Leicester? That Leicester goal.
The three that did the hat trick. Literally,
yeah, I could
first, second, and third in the goal of the month competition.
Yeah, I could just watch that.
Going into their random chat while we talk. They're talking about Sonic there. My daughter used to play that shit. No, I don't know. They're all going very random now. I don't know what they're talking about.
We had a player called Sonic. I can't remember who it was. Whose nickname was Sonic?
Oh, there you go. Who was?
I can't think who it was. Wasn't Freddie at one point?
Colin Young. Yes, and mark it down, lady. Timber gonna ball. Yeah, thank you, Colin. Thank you so much. I just got. I'm quite good with gut feelings. I know it's cool about football. I swore next, but I don't. But I just got a really good vibe about him. I think he's going to rock it and go. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, when Ornstein initially announced that that was happening and all that.
Sorry. That's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah. That's Stefan being Stefan.
I just love people in the chat, next.
It's very active over here, isn't it? Very active over here. Very keep going. Like in terms of the chat, it's very flowy over here.
Those poor boys. They've listened to bloody Arsenal. God knows you've got some really faithful followers, Ryan. Fair play to you, mate. Well, you're a lovely person. You have. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll take it all day long.
That's good.
Especially the ones that again we mentioned before, Stefan and all the ones that, and Mr. Tom as well. They don't support Arsenal. They don't have to be here, but they are. We have a laugh. And
they are.
A common interest is football.
They do your heading. Sorry, I'll call that out. They're as bad as the Spursy lot because I've got X amount of friends at Spurs. The flipping North London is so negative. Whereas you get people from a little bit further out, I don't know, they've got a certain vibe about them. So you can't have, if you're doing Arsenal, you can't have all gooners. Yeah, it gets too boring. They're all having doom and gloom. Because like you, Richard Mark said, and all of you said, we haven't signed so-and-so, they haven't delivered, whatever. Be grateful for what we got next. They're okay. Next. I'm still believing in Jesus. I'm believing in him. He'll come good. We didn't score tonight, but whatever. But yeah, I'm sure he'll come good. I like Brazilians next. Don't read into that, folks. Ooh.
You really put yourself in that one with Stefan in the chat. That's all I'm saying. Jesus. Let's move on quick before he runs onto it.
Oh my God, concentrate, Ange. Yeah, I'm trying, mate. I really am. Yeah, yeah, I'm just off the top now. I support the Arsenal. Next.
Oh dear.
There are worse things in life.
Yeah, you could be a Tottenham fan.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh dear. Oh, new face.
Oh,
That's a new face.
Who's the new face?
No, I don't. I'm saying a new face. Not seen them on the channel before.
Okay.
Well, welcome anyway.
Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, welcome.
Hola. Hola, bon dia.
Get you,
Oh,
Carl.
That's about the only Portuguese I know.
Right. Okay. Get that.
No, I can order me beer. So that's all right.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, get your priorities right.
oh God, is it a clean joke though, Hawkwind? It's Mr.
Yeah,
Bungle's
we know
right
that. Right, Stefan, I just want to call this out. I follow you with your very creative writings, and not sure about the big knickers. Anybody else who follows Stefan on his creative writings, I'm not sure about the big knickers. I'm an old bird, and even I don't want to go there. Next bird,
Yeah.
that's just too funny. What?
Don't dig yourself a hole, Ange.
Yeah, I know. I'm digging a hole now.
We can
No, that's
hit
fade
so
away.
much.
Too funny.
Oh dear.
Oh, you got to have a laugh. Come on, it's only bloody football. It breaks your heart every week, doesn't it? The Arsenal will break her heart next season. Well, sorry,
Probably
I'll
not.
call it out. The men can do what they do. I think they can do all right. I want my women to be. My heart has been, and I think to be fair, everybody here now, we're all following the women. We've all been doing it for a long time. I lapsed greatly, but my God, we've been very broken-hearted with the women, and certainly with the last season. Well, season just gone, I should say. Yeah, all the injuries. We had the potential, and then it was just like it's gone. And what they achieved.
I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to go for second and FA Cup.
For who? The women.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get that because I love silverware. And as much as the Continental Tires Cup, and we beat them, that made me very, like all of us, made me very happy. But yeah, my beloved FA Cup, which I grew up with, not supporting Arsenal, but I loved the FA Cup. My dad loved it. Next, whoever was playing, whatever.
And if we get the break, I reckon we could. This is a big could get to the Champions League final.
Well, wow. Yeah, what can I say?
If we get the break.
Yeah.
Well, we won't get a tougher run than we did last year. Champions of Europe in the group stage, done in 5-1.
Exactly.
Juventus, I think, what was it? The only last team we had was, I can't remember who it was now. Oh, I can't remember who it was. Rapid Vienna, I think it was something like that. And then we had Bayern Munich, heavy favourites at the time, knocked them out over 2 legs, 1-0 respectively, both home and away. Then Wolfsburg, and just missed out. I mean, literally set out crowd as well for that. Just missed out. And I think, again, I said at the time, if we had Bear Fear and the whole support for the whole.
Listen, we'd have been on fire.
We would have been in that final. We would have got close to that.
Ryan,
but either it is.
Sorry, Ryan, did you go to that match?
What, the 60,000 to sell out? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, myself and Richard, Emerson, Ricky, yourself, although we didn't meet up, we will do next time. But yeah, it was amazing. And we missed out they got the better goal.
The last minute goal, basically.
Yeah, and our depleted squad, and this is what I keep wanting banging on about. It was amazing. It was sellout. Yeah, it was history, and I was so fortunate to be there. But technically, such a cheap price as well. And
it's a very good price, isn't it?
Alarming.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider what the men's tickets are.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Richard, sorry, where was it on the last other podcast show we did, and
Channel.
you pulled it out, Richard, and you said that you'd rather go to a women's Champion League game, wouldn't you, as opposed to men? Yeah,
it's all. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, Emirates Cup a few years ago, coming back, got off at Havant. I had my daughter, my young son. He was young at the time, and my niece, and come across the bridge. Tottenham supporter. He come from Southampton. And he was pissed out of his head, looking for trouble, and with about 9 mates. And I said to him, "Look, go away. I'll come back. I'll come back once I've dropped the kids off, and then I'll talk to you. If you still want to fight, I'll fight." I said, "But it's not. I'm not doing anything in front of the kids." But you get these idiots in the men's games. You get no trouble at a woman's match.
Yeah, it's a lovely atmosphere.
I'm getting too old for that rubbish now. I just want to relax and enjoy myself.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And again, in terms of my ambitions for next season for the WS for the girls is, I think we've got a strong enough squad to actually win the league.
Yeah.
If it's a big if, obviously. I know we ain't got Leah for half of it and all, and Laura as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, a couple more additions just to bulk the squad out until then.
Yeah.
I think we've got a good enough squad to keep ourselves going. Bring Leah comes back, Laura comes back. We then push on even more. I think we win the FA Cup, like you mentioned. I think we win the WSL. I think we're the ones. I think we will be the ones to end Chelsea's dominance for the last 4 years.
Oh my God! Please. Do you know what? I'll call it out here and now. And for all you Arsenal pleasers with Miss Arsenal podcast, the men will do what they do, and I love them because that's how I first started off with Arsenal. But the love affair quickly changed to the women. I want our girls to just do what they do. They deserve it. They've got a fantastic manager. I really love it, Jonas. I truly do. It's good for the girls. Yeah, we need to get that there and do next. Sorry.
I think if you haven't watched the women's game, you need to, because
please watch it.
I've
really
been
good
watching
football
since early 80s, and the improvement in the game has been immense, and it's the technical ability of the women is very good.
It is.
Okay, sorry. Can I call this out here, Nightman? What are you talking about? Going for a poo? Why's he going for a poo?
Move on.
I know what you're on about. Yeah, move on.
Oh, so funny.
We'll explain it later off air.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying on that. Moving on.
Another show in its own.
Let's move along.
Oh dear, no, but the girls have been. Oh, again, we've mentioned it how many times. I mentioned it fracking. I've probably bored my channel to death from saying it, but the trauma that this squad went through in terms of the injuries and all that, the ACL, the FC that we became halfway through the season. To hopefully get a fully fit squad back and have no more issues, touch wood.
Oh, pray. Listen, me and Rich were on the airway.
The girls, as you say, the girls will deserve if they do what I expect and hope they to do in terms of win this WSL duck, win an FA Cup, get to a Champions League final. Not necessarily win the final, potentially depending on who we play against, but get to at least get there and compete. That's a good season for me. That I'll take that all day long, and the girls would merit it, especially the ones that had to step up when we needed them most. Especially because going back to that WSL, the Continental Cup game, 2 minutes in, we're 1-0 down. Sam Kerr scores. We're all thinking the worst. We weren't in the best of form going into that.
Trust me, thank God I was there.
That that game changed the season, and basically the fight and desire they showed from there on in, they deserve everything they get next season, hopefully.
And I'll tell you something, I will stand by this. As much as I love the boys, for me, the women doing what they did, that was my highlight.
After every game, be it at the Emirates or Bournemouth, no matter who we play against, the girls will stay out after the whistle goes and go around the entire stadium, take photos and selfies, sign autographs and all that, and make time for the people that have come out to support them. I mean, and these announcement videos for these contract renewals with Caitlin Ford and Leah Vorty and all the others and Manham and all, they all throw back to the Wolfsburg semi-final second leg in terms of being a sellout and the family atmosphere, but the support they get, you don't in the women's game. They're not seeing it anywhere else. So why would they go elsewhere?
Well, that's what Russo said, and I thought she was very clear. And she's an intelligent young woman. But she got that. Yeah, you ain't going to see it anywhere else. You're at the Arsenal next, and all right, we know we've got at least 5 games, but that will extend if we get a good run. Next, it will be at the Emirates. We get the support.
We've got 5 league games. And that'll be the North London Derby, City, I'm assuming, Chelsea, United, and another probably Villa.
Yeah.
And assuming we qualify for the Champions League title again, we're gonna have every group home game at the Emirates as well, like we did last season. Obviously, scheduling wise, we had to be jigged about because obviously now the men are there as well.
Well,
But obviously with the women's, I don't know why, but the women's Champions League is starting later than it usually does, so it might actually help out the schedule.
The World Cup.
It might be that might be a factor.
So,
But either way, that actually might be a blessing for Arsenal in terms of scheduling for both the men and women's games at the Emirates for the Champions League as well. But Arsenal will actually do it. Fair play to them. They started doing it before the Euros, but have upped the ante since. In terms of they did the North London Derby, did Chelsea and United as well to test the runs for the WSL. They've added a couple more to the WSL. They did every single home game for the Champions League last season, and hopefully they continue that this season. And this time, hopefully, it turns out we get to the final because we're so close. And the pride I felt that we are going. You guys will probably follow me on Twitter and all that at the time when just for the second we went through and it was like the tickets went on sale for that home league. I was at every opportunity, every milestone that they asked on out. I'm there, like, come on, let's get it over the line. Let's get every seat filled. And the fact that we did that, it's brilliant. Is that fantastic? Like, every seat was filled. Everyone. It wasn't just like the tickets were brought. The people actually turned up and got beyond and supported the girls from the beginning to the very end. And then every fan, man, woman, child, stayed behind and applauded them players because they gave it everything in that match as well.
Yeah.
And sorry, Nightman. Yeah, the men get paid too much. The women are more. Yeah, you're spot on, mate. They are more down to earth. They truly are. I'm sure the other WSL they're as good because we've got X amount of them in the Lionesses. But for the Arsenal,
the women's side of the women's side of the game, they've had to work. They've had to graft their backsides off to get to where they are now. Whereas since Roman came on the Odegaard at Chelsea, it's sort of been put on a plate. Whereas years ago, back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s, like Ray Parlour would come through, but they'd have to come through the scholarships and all that. They'd have to clean the boots and things like that to get in the door.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're in the academy, you're basically in the squad, basically. You don't have to really do anything much else apart from that. Yeah. Whereas obviously the girls, Alex Scott, one of our legends, Alex Scott, she had to be as I say, cleaning boots for the likes of Kelly Smith, even as a player, when she was coming through.
Yeah, but I think she enjoyed that.
Whilst holding down a full-time job outside of playing for their club up to the last 10 years ago.
I don't know if anybody's got, or anybody listening's got, everybody's got BBC iPlayer. Yeah. But there's a documentary on there about a women's football team that's actually run by Callum Best.
Oh, yes. I did follow that. It was on some time ago.
That is actually where I'm from, down in Surrey. That is one of my teams. Dorking Wanderers is one of them because
Okay.
there's Leather that plays in the Isthmian League, and then
Yeah.
Dorking Wanderers, who are now I think they've just scraped it, staying in the National League.
Okay.
And this documentary is about the women's team, but it's like they're from like 16, 17 upwards, and there's a whole documentary on iPlayer, so it's worth watching.
Yeah, back to my Northern Irish part heritage. Yeah, I did love him. I'm not going to lie. I'm a product, Nick. Sorry, you don't need to know that. But yeah, I've got a little bit of affection for Callum. And yeah, I did see something come up on that earlier. So yeah, I'd definitely say anybody who's promoting a women's team, yeah, please watch it. And sorry, I just want to bring up here, Nightman said, what are your views on Josh and Stan? Ooh, that's a bit, yeah. What are our views here at the moment?
I think if you do it now, you've got to look at it in two parts. From when they first came in up to sort of 2018-19, and then from 2018-19 to now. And it's chalk and cheese, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first part weren't willing to spend or do much, and I'm not saying they're spending money now, but they're making money available. They're showing ambition, and that's what we've as fans have wanted for a long time. So there's been a definite improvement. Whether that was forced because of the Super League fiasco, you don't know. But whatever the reasons behind it, it's only good for our club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my opinion changed after watching the documentary about how involved. Actually, I didn't realise how involved like Josh actually was. You know, guards actually sitting down and talking to Arteta and the backroom staff and that. And I think they're doing a brilliant job. My only criticism would be they need to sort the ticket system out, because they're not.
Right. You want me to rant on that? I will.
I know that what was it?
Well, as you probably know, we've both given up. My dad and I have given up our memberships now, purely also that he's obviously getting on in age. He's 70 odd now, but you know, but he got to 1 or 2 games last season, and we've been silver members since the Emirates was built. He's been going since he was 19. He's seen crowds of 90 to 100,000 at Highbury. You know, so everybody's banging on. We should build a bigger stadium. There was people forget there was 90. There was 90, 100. I think the maximum capacity for one game at Highbury was 110,000. You know, back in the day, when they all were caps and all that, but it's still history. You know,
exactly.
It's it's just I don't know what the solution is. I really don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, they introduced the queuing system, which was a fiasco because you had to log on there at an exact precise time to get into that system, didn't you? But there are easy ways of doing it. You send out every fan, and that buys you 1 or 2 tickets. You allocate how many tickets, and you can only without that code you can't purchase.
Yeah,
and then it stops the sites and the scammers and the ticket touts.
The touters, yeah.
Yeah.
And They were the main issue for us last season. Literally, what was it back in the start? Not back in the start of last season itself.
You look at a Wolves game. I was trying to get a ticket.
Yeah,
15,000 for a gold ticket.
Yeah. No, what is it? Start of last season when the tickets went out for the first few games of the season. Straight away, the warning times were there because I always do my stuff over book my tickets over the phone as a red to table name. That's one of the easiest. Usually, you got less hassle, but the warning times straight away were there because Fulham at home, the first time, the second home game of the season after Leicester. I missed that in the left one, but Fulham at home and Villa. I spent on the phone in the queue to get tickets as a disabled member in the disabled queue over 2 hours each time. In the queue, I got the tickets. Don't get me wrong, but it was like the warning signs were there. So when it came to the Man City game, it was meant to be played in October side, but obviously the Queen's passing had to be rearranged because of the European commitments and all that. In the end, couldn't get a ticket for it because literally within 6 minutes of tickets going on sale to that to when Silver and my membership was at the same time. Just getting sucked up, and it turned out, within 5 minutes of that being announced, ticket websites are going boom, 35,000, and I've said for years as well in terms of the ticket touts outside the stadium, outside of Arsenal Stadium. You come at Arsenal Stadium, they don't disguise it. They're just like tickets. It's the same people every week, and yet the police don't do nothing.
Out of the station, there's a few guys on that corner just going around up by Drayton Park in there, and they're the same guys every week.
The police, the club do nothing.
Tickets.
The police and the club have done nothing over what I mean. It'll be 20 years in the next few years to move to the Emirates, and they've not done anything.
The problem is, and it doesn't matter which club you look at and which owners or are they going to really worry
with money in their pocket?
The money in their pocket.
Yeah, that's the problem.
As long as they've got the money in the pocket, they're not going to worry if the stadium's empty because all the touts have got the tickets.
I think the kick up the backside they got in terms of the old system and then changing it to this system was, what game was it? Was it Southampton? I think it was Southampton at home when photos and videos are going around of like 3 or 4 rows of big chunks of empty seats and around up tier and all that. And that's sort of the kick up because I'm part of the AST meeting with representatives of that department and all that. And they were just like, oh well, we've got this idea in mind. They wouldn't tell us. But obviously it didn't leak out that obviously this was their plan, the ballot system. And straight away I said, this is again disaster waiting to happen. Why can't they? One of the things they should do, red memberships. This will be a window of 2 days after the season ends, it opens, and then 24 hours before the season starts, it closes. That's it. That's your window to purchase to be a member of whatever. Other than that, throughout the season, that should not be an option because then, when things like last season, when we out of nowhere becoming successful, touts and non-Arsenal fans are then becoming red members and putting themselves into the system to put themselves forward for tickets, and they're getting. Majority of the times they've been lucky enough to get tickets, or they'll set up a botting system, they'll pay a particular botting system to go in and bang up them tickets that they did. And it's, I mean, this botting system, this new ballot system itself. Again, I balloted in a different, because I'm a disabled member. It was slightly different to me. I fill out a form, my membership number, my carers membership number, and all that. And if I'm an ambulance user or wheelchair user, or whatever, and then obviously I'll get contacted. Which I did. In fair play, I got contacted the day before saying, successful, this is the window you got, When it came to it, though, the site itself, go on, I had to go to another page on the website to get the link to then apply for my tickets. And then it says, my ticket, the care assistant, personal assistant. So That's new on there. Then the personal assistant. So I thought, okay, put my carers one on there as well. Assign it, wouldn't assign it. So I had to phone up and spend 3 hours on the phone in a queue to get my tickets because the system online wasn't set up properly. And quite easy, I could have lost my tickets, and I would have been livid with the system. But then since then, silver members are on tweeting about it. Red members as well. Even today, never received an email. And the only way they find out they've been successful or not in the end is if they get charged more than £1 for entering the ballot. And I think that's for one. That's the system managing one game.
Yeah.
After that, it's going to be 2 or 3 games, and the Champions League draw comes along. That system's going to be managing 4 or 5 games at a time. It's not good. Yeah. I don't think it's going to cope. It's a disaster waiting to happen. And it's going to cause more harm than good long term. And again, as a member, the whole point of the membership is obviously you get guaranteed, not guaranteed tickets, but obviously you have the opportunity to put yourself forward,
isn't it? Yeah, they're trying to be fairer.
They're trying to be fair, but the system itself is a bit flawed in the system itself that they put forward. There's a way around it, but either way. But the whole point of membership was obviously the main thing was always exclusive access to tickets, which is still the case to an extent, but not because obviously it's a ballot now. It's up to the club's discretion of randomly picking out a hat, basically. But last year they took away membership packs. Apart from junior gunners, everyone else got no longer gets membership packs anymore.
Yeah,
but our prices for the membership have stayed the same last year and this year, but we're getting less for it now.
Yeah,
and that's what's irking people as well.
And also, you had a very, very small window to be able to renew as well.
Yeah,
because I think it was midnight up to around about it was a Sunday. I think was it early July, about 3rd or 4th of July.
Yeah, I think like that. Yeah.
And me and my dad were still discussing up to like Saturday, saying, what do you do? What do we do? And I'm glad now we have, because we're, especially now with everything, because apparently you're not even using your membership card now. You have to put it in your electronic wallet.
Yeah, basically you've got to download the Arsenal app onto your phone. And then and obviously with that, access the digital ticket and all that, and then as you get to near the stadium,
my dad's not even got like a new phone. One of the modern.
Yeah.
He's got an older Vodafone. So he doesn't have apps or anything like that, and it's like it's just ridiculous.
Just pushing at the older generation now, but that, as you say, the older generation have got to have the smartphones of what we have these days, and even if they did, it's like just. In terms, again, when they're picking up, they should, in terms of this ballot system, for example, the way they're putting it out, when they pick them out there, they know how old they are. They'll know by the age, obviously. Roughly, 9 times out of 10, they'll have a smartphone. If not, you're successful. Here's your ticket. By the way, just in case you haven't got a smartphone, we're going to send you one in the post, just to make sure you can get in, be it home or away. Yeah. And obviously the younger generation, everyone that's younger, about my age or younger or of our age groups, fair enough, they put in a form. Have you got a smartphone? Can you access and then and if they say no, haven't got this, they again send you a ticket. They send you the ticket instead in the post. But if you say yes, then you get sent to the app. Then there'll be a lot more hassle-free and a lot more stress-free for, again, the older generation that haven't, as you say, haven't got that smartphone that they'll now need to be able to get into the stadium.
Yeah. Because what's the point? Get up in the morning, but it was lovely catching you, and good luck for the rest of the show.
Yeah. You could just send a blank check to the box office, tell them roughly where you wanted to sit. They'd write the check out. They'd write the thing for you, cash the check, and send you the tickets in the post.
Yeah,
I think it also when we went digital.
Yeah,
when we started bringing out the membership card, when it started. I know that. I think you've obviously got to modernise. You've got to modernise, which is fair enough. But it's it's just, I don't know whether is it a third party they've contracted out to, or because it used to all be done by these are
Ticketmaster, don't they? Yeah, they use Ticketmaster nowadays, don't they? That's been the problem with obviously the queuing system and all that, because Arsenal in that meeting I was in the back end of last season, and the members of staff are like, well, we've been advised by Ticketmaster that you don't get into the queue until 9:30. That's the best opportunity. But people were going, hang on, well, I mean, for the Wolves ticket myself, I was able to get myself and my brother a Wolves ticket just in case, obviously, things went the way we wanted it to go, but it didn't. I got myself in that queue. I literally had this on.
You're right,
I had this on. I had my phone out. I had every possible thing in my hand to hand, basically. Like, boom, boom, boom. I even put myself in the queue just in case as well. At 9:15 in the morning, an hour and 15 minutes before the tickets were meant to go live. And I literally just got in and I was able to get my tickets at 4 minutes past 10.
Well, right. Anyway, guys, I think we need to wrap this up because your very loyal chat has been on here since God knows when. They'll have wonderful lives, but no
6 o'clock this evening.
No, thank you so much. Thank you. We won't do this today. We won't do a double whammy. No, thank you. Yeah, we need to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for coming on chat. Myself, Mark, Richard, Emerson, who would have been here, but had a few technical difficulties. We all appreciate it. Thank you for welcoming us. And we'll come back. Even if you don't want us, we'll come back. Woo, next. Right, anyway, guys, night. I'm going to end this. Thank you. Love you.